Welcome to the channel today. We're talking about the shocking moment Pamela Warner burst into tears while reading the autopsy results of Malcolm Jamal Warner. The details in the report left many people in disbelief. What really happened? Was it just a personal tragedy, or is there something more to it? Find out now. Have you ever seen Malcolm Jamal Warner in The Cosby Show or any other show if you were a fan? Comment number 2, and if you weren't, leave number 5. Don't forget to like, share with your friends, and subscribe so you don't miss the next shocking twist, because this story is just getting started. The big questions are, where are the production logs? Who has the footage? And why did it take Pamela nearly 6 weeks to see the report? Sources whisper about everything from industrial fraud to a total cover-up. This is no ordinary medical mystery. It evokes a sense of sabotage and an elaborate Hollywood conspiracy. Pamela believes what she saw in the report broke her spirit, sent shockwaves through the internet, and could expose an entire Hollywood conspiracy. Before Pamela's emotional outburst, Malcolm's mysterious death was shrouded in a suspicious silence. Now, with the autopsy leaking, we're starting to see the truths Hollywood doesn't want us to know. Pamela Warner isn't just a grieving mother. She's a woman who spent her life protecting her son from the snakes in the grass. She's just discovered that the grass is full of rattlesnakes in Gucci suits and Netflix deals. Malcolm Jamal Warner, a beloved actor and thoughtful poet, is considered a silent giant in the Black Hollywood community. He is working on a daring documentary called Buried Contract: The Price of Silence, which will expose the dark underbelly of the television industry. The project will focus on racial exploitation, abuse, and manipulation, especially in family-friendly television in the late 1980s and 1990s. According to 2 unnamed producers involved in the project, Malcolm has hours of unseen footage, including interviews with child actors who have experienced trauma but are forced to pretend to be happy on screen. These images and accounts promise to reveal the dark truth about an entertainment industry that seems friendly but is rife with little-known pressures and injustices. The story became complicated when just 3 days before his death, Malcolm texted a close friend that he was figuring out something important. The legal team involved had been trying to get him to sign a non-disclosure agreement (NDA) for a project he had never agreed to participate in. The friend recalled that Malcolm seemed nervous, shaken, but focused, as if he knew something was about to happen to him. This sense of unease added to the suspicions surrounding his sudden death. Malcolm's mother, Pamela Warner, had a hunch from the start that something was wrong when she received the call telling her of her son's death. She expressed her doubts about the cause of death and was determined to find out the truth behind it. Pamela refused to accept simple explanations and began her quest for justice for her son. Suspicions of a conspiracy or cover-up grew in the public eye. In addition, the footage Malcolm collected for his project revealed many untold stories about the entertainment industry, where child actors, especially those of color, were forced to endure severe mental pressure and abusive behavior. These revelations are expected to shake the industry, creating a profound dialogue about fairness and ethics in showbiz. With more and more details being revealed, public opinion is increasingly interested and asking many questions about the truth behind Malcolm Jamal Warner's death. Was he really a victim of a force that wanted to silence him, or was this just a tragic coincidence in life? The answer is still waiting to be discovered as the pieces of the story are carefully assembled. In your opinion, is Malcolm Jamal Warner's death a simple tragedy, or does it contain something deeper? If you believe there is something hidden that has not been revealed, please comment number 3. If you think everything is just a coincidence, please leave number 6. Your opinion can open up a whole new perspective for that community. Remember to leave a sub to follow this shocking series of events with me. Pamela knew her son better than anyone. From his bedtime routine to his diet, nothing escaped the attention of a mother who had followed Malcolm's every move. So when she heard that her son had died of natural causes, she couldn't believe it. The feeling that something was wrong grew especially after the details surrounding his death seemed so vague. She requested an independent autopsy but was advised to trust the official report. But a mother's faith is not so easily extinguished. Weeks later, an insider sent Pamela the full autopsy report, not the redacted version released to the media. And it was then that everything began to fall apart. The report she received was unlike any other document ever made public. It was filled with contradictory details that left her stunned and devastated. The timestamps in the report conflicted with what had been previously released. Some toxicology tests were left blank, as if someone had intentionally overlooked important data. The medical terminology was strange, not consistent with any conditions Malcolm had ever seen. One page read spontaneous cardiac event, but the next page mentioned unknown sedative level inconclusive due to contamination. The discrepancy was too great to ignore. What puzzled Pamela the most was that Malcolm, who had no history of drug use, no alcoholism, and a healthy lifestyle, had traces of unknown compounds in his blood. The sources of these compounds were not clearly analyzed, and the reason was simply unknown, insufficient sample. Part of her wanted to believe that it was just a technical error, but her motherly heart could not stop at that simple hypothesis. All of this raises a big question: is someone hiding something? Is this not just a personal tragedy, but part of a darker picture of silence, manipulation, and possibly conspiracy at the heart of Hollywood? Pamela is not one to be cowed, and the truth, if it exists, will not remain buried forever. According to an insider close to the family, Pamela's first reaction was not tears, but anger. "They took my son away to protect their secret," she screamed. She demanded everything from Malcolm's phone files and voicemails, but they had all been remotely deleted. The only thing left was a recording titled "In Case I Disappear," which is now in Pamela's possession. Rumor has it that the recording is Malcolm's final confession, naming the exact producers and executives who tried to bribe or silence him. All of this leaves us with a grieving mother with a tampered autopsy, a wiped phone, and a son who tried to tell the truth but died in silence. But Pamela is no longer silent. And just when it seems like things can't get any more complicated, a 37-page autopsy report allegedly leaked from the coroner's office emerges. Malcolm Jamal Warner's death was reportedly not due to natural causes. The word unknown toxins appears 6 times in the document. These are not ordinary drugs, but foreign compounds that should not be present in a healthy man's body. This raises suspicions that they may have been introduced from outside. The internet went wild with Reddit and Twitter users trying to figure out and compare the listed compounds to military-grade sedatives. A woman named Samantha K also appeared on a since-deleted TikTok, claiming Malcolm was worried and had found out something shocking about someone in his inner circle. Samantha K said Malcolm was afraid of someone in his inner circle. When asked if it was Pamela, she simply whispered, "That woman knows too much." The TikTok comments immediately exploded. people began scrutinizing Pamela's funeral attire, claiming that the brooch she wore featured a raven, a symbol of death. A leaked email thread also showed that Pamela's legal team had requested a delay in cremation and a second opinion on organ damage, raising questions about whether she was trying to uncover the truth or hide something. During the funeral, Pamela Warner seemed oblivious to the people around her. Cameras captured her smiling absent-mindedly, occasionally checking her phone while someone was giving a eulogy. Many speculated that she was texting some powerful Hollywood figure who had a lot to lose if Malcolm revealed what he knew. An unnamed Hollywood executive revealed that Malcolm was working on a secret documentary involving a list of names, pharmaceutical sponsors, and a cover-up of sexual abuse at a major studio. The source claims Malcolm wasn't just acting, he was preparing to expose everything. That goes back to Pamela. One source said she was worried about what might be left on Malcolm's hard drives. Another said she offered to pay a tech expert $80,000 to wipe all of her son's iCloud data immediately after the funeral. Malcolm's MacBook laptop, a GoPro, and a leather notebook were also reportedly missing from his apartment. Suddenly, the Los Angeles Police Department, LAPD, decided to reopen the case of Malcolm Jamal Warner's death, a case that had previously been classified as a medical accident. However, this time the case was classified as suspicious circumstances, raising many questions in the online community and the media. Reporters immediately gathered in front of Pamela's house to seek answers, but her representative only said briefly, "No comment at this time," and hurriedly left. This silence made the public more curious and inevitably raised many hypotheses. On the TikTok platform, a new trend quickly spread with a series of videos cut from Malcolm's old interviews. The clips were combined with creepy background music, making many viewers feel haunted and skeptical about the hidden things behind his death. Most prominent was a video where Malcolm looked directly into the camera and said meaningfully, "If anything happens to me, it won't be natural." This sentence was seen by many as a warning or a sign of tragedy. The story was further complicated by a leaked audio recording purportedly of Malcolm's voice, in which he insisted, "They don't want this truth to be known. If I disappear, go to the woman I trust the most. She's not always who people think she is." The shaky, anxious voice ended with, "I hope the world can forgive her, but I can't." Although Pamela's team denied that the recording was edited, the message still left the public skeptical. The matter became even more complicated when some of Malcolm's former co-stars began posting cryptic statuses on social media, causing the public to constantly question the hidden secrets. Notably, Bill Cosby's representative also unexpectedly issued a statement denying any involvement, even though no one had mentioned it. This made many people suspect a cover-up and the involvement of powerful forces in the incident. All of these developments have created an atmosphere of chaos and mystery surrounding the death of Malcolm Jamal Warner. The big question is whether this is just an unfortunate coincidence or a deeper conspiracy is gradually being exposed. The online community is still closely following each development, waiting for satisfactory explanations from the parties involved. The storm continued when a leaked voice message went viral. In it, a voice believed to be Malcolm's was heard trembling and saying the following cryptic words, "They don't want this to get out. If I disappear, start with the woman I trust the most. She's not always who she seems." The message ended with the chilling sentence, "I hope the world forgives her, but I don't." The online community was quick to call out Pamela. The family's representative immediately said that the recording had been edited to smear her reputation. However, that explanation was not enough to quell the wave of suspicion. Many people recalled Pamela's blank eyes and strange behavior during the funeral. Some videos recorded her standing still like a statue in front of her son's portrait or mumbling incomprehensible sentences. Social networks began to share hypotheses about whether she really knew more than she said. Tensions escalated when a number of Malcolm's former co-stars began sharing cryptic Instagram posts. One simply posted a picture of a broken watch with the caption, "Time is up." What was particularly interesting was that in the midst of the public's focus on Pamela, Bill Cosby's rep suddenly released a statement stating that he had nothing to do with Malcolm's death. It became all the more suspicious when no one mentioned him, but Cosby's team felt the need to speak up first. And that's when people started to wonder who's trying to hide what. Meanwhile, Pamela Warner's silence contradictions and sudden disappearance reinforce a terrifying possibility: someone doesn't want us to know the truth and has the power to make sure it doesn't. But things have changed. A mysterious audio recording has leaked, purportedly Pamela's voice pleading with someone not to reopen unhealed wounds. The recording has focused everyone's attention on Malcolm's personal physician, Dr. Harold Jennings, who has mysteriously disappeared. Dr. Jennings' attorney shocked the jury by claiming that the doctor had tried to warn Malcolm's family months before his death. He was slowly poisoned, and the signs were ignored, the attorney said. Soon after, Pamela collapsed and had to leave the courtroom during questioning. The big questions were: what were the signs? What was the poison? And who had access to Malcolm's food supplements and prescription drugs? Suspicion immediately fell on Louis Bautis, a French personal chef, whom Malcolm had hired 6 months before his death. Louis Bautis, a health guru known on social media for cryptic posts like "the body remembers what the mind forgets," had been acting suspiciously. His passport history was leaked and showed he had left the country the night Malcolm died. Furthermore, security cameras in Malcolm's building showed Bautis carrying a small metal briefcase labeled "heat compounds only." A former friend of Bautis's said the briefcase was always locked and that he called it a cleaning kit, but that he had once seen a needle inside. As the public demanded answers from the Warner family, Pamela went live on Instagram. She cried, gasped, and whispered, "I trusted the people around him. I never thought I would have to doubt everyone I loved." The live stream was raw and terrifying, but it was also when the legal avalanche began. Just 48 hours later, a federal subpoena was issued for Malcolm's entire 15-year medical records. At the same time, an extensive forensic search of his apartment was conducted. During the extended investigation, authorities conducted a thorough search of Malcolm Jamal Warner's apartment, where they discovered several expired pill bottles in the vents, notably with scratched and tampered barcodes. This raised suspicions that the drugs had been altered or sourced. But the real shocking discovery was under the mattress. Malcolm had slept on a series of lithium battery strips taped together and hidden from view. An anonymous medical examiner said this was not an ordinary discovery. The lithium batteries were arranged in a way that could create magnetic field (MF) interference, which can affect the human nervous system if exposed to them for a long time. Typically, this type of interference involves high-level psychological manipulation methods, which have been documented in psychological warfare studies, he said. Immediately, social media exploded. Many asked, is this a fictional Netflix scenario, or is the truth being hidden in real life? Before the internet could recover, another development added to the tension. Familiar Hollywood faces like Jaleel White, Steve Urkel, Tatiana, Ali Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and Raven Simonet began acting strangely, from canceling interviews to unfollowing some former colleagues to going completely silent on social media. This silence to many was more than just caution. It was a sign of fear. Something big was being kept secret. The real climax comes when a secret audio file, supposedly Malcolm's final confession, is leaked to a private forum and goes viral. In the recording, Malcolm's voice is shaky and exhausted, but clear. He describes a state of constant paranoia, a feeling of being watched, and repeatedly mentions sounds in the walls and lights flickering in the middle of the night. These are not just expressions of stress, they're expressions of someone living in a technologically controlled environment. The recording ends with a haunting line. "If I don't wake up one day, tell the world I knew this would happen." It's not a confession, it's a prophecy. A prophecy laced with despair, pain, and warning. While authorities have yet to verify the authenticity of the file, millions have come to believe what they've always suspected: Malcolm did not die of natural causes. He may have been silenced, literally. Pamela, the normally reserved mother, is now under pressure to release the tapes. But insiders say she is terrified of what Malcolm's voice might reveal. A close family friend said she was terrified that if the confession were to come out, it would not just be one person who would collapse, but the whole system. This suggests that this is not just about a mysterious death, but about decades of silence about people who knew the truth but did nothing about money, fame, and possibly a cover-up. The internet is abuzz with discussions surrounding the death of Malcolm Jamal Warner. Social media users have created trends and movements calling for justice for him, garnering millions of views and comments. Conspiracy theories and theories have been widely circulated, including that Malcolm had contact with a healing cult before his death and was preparing to write a book exposing hidden secrets. This has led many to believe that his death was not simple and may have been intentionally silenced. Meanwhile, Malcolm's mother, Pamela Warner, has come forward with more determination than ever. She is assembling a formidable legal team to file a wrongful death lawsuit. The lawsuit is expected to target several former Friends doctors, and especially a television executive who was involved in a canceled project of Malcolm's that was said to be about medical corruption in the entertainment industry, making the case all the more serious and complicated. Many are wondering if this project was the real reason Malcolm was put in danger before his death. The mysterious silence from friends, colleagues, and doctors has only added to the suspicion of a hidden conspiracy. The autopsy reports contain many inexplicable contradictions, raising deep doubts among the fan community and the media. All signs point to some hidden force trying to hide the truth. Pamela is not only a grieving mother, but also a warrior who is determined to bring the truth to light. She sends a hidden message like a cry for help from deep within the complex and harsh entertainment system that Malcolm once belonged to. Malcolm's story is not only a personal tragedy, but also a warning about the dark forces that can destroy the lives of those in the industry. Pamela is doing everything to make sure that no one can bury the truth. All eyes are now on the next developments in the lawsuit and the expanding investigation. Will justice be served for Malcolm Jamal Warner? The case is revealing more complex and seemingly deeper details than the public ever thought. This is not only a sad story, but also a cautionary tale for Hollywood and all those who care about transparency and fairness. Pamela Warner is fighting hard to protect her son's legacy and honor against all odds and challenges. And that's why Malcolm Jamal Warner's death is causing a stir. Pamela's tears only add to the mystery. What do you think really happened? Leave a comment below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss out on the next revelations. See you in the next video.